Hi everyone. Today we're going to do a slow, relaxing, stretchy yoga flow as requested by my auntie. So we're going to get started. Just find your mat, coming into a comfortable seat of your choice, keeping the spine straight and tall, starting to settle in. You can rest your hands on your knees. You can start to close the eyes, just allowing the body and the mind to start to settle, letting go of the day thus far, welcoming yourself onto the mat, inviting in a sense of calm, a sense of peace, just starting to settle anything that's pulling at you. Then we'll start to take a big inhale through the nose, slow, deep breath in, filling up the lungs, the rib cage. And then opening the mouth to let it go, audible exhale, release. Another deep breath in through the nose, filling up the lungs, watching the breath rise, holding it at the top. And then opening the mouth again, let something go as you release the breath. One more breath, maybe the deepest breath you've taken all day, maybe all week. Filling up the body, feeling the chest expand and hold. Open the mouth, let everything go, release, exhale. Inhaling through the nose. And exhaling through the nose. We'll start to blink the eyes open, staying with this steady inhale and exhale through the nose throughout the practice. We're going to come to find hands and knees, stacking the shoulders on top of the wrists and the hips on top of the knees. We're just going to find some gentle cat-cows. So inhale, you arch the back, seat up, chest up, chin up, gaze up towards the sky. Exhale to round, eyes towards the thighs, pushing the mat away. Inhaling to arch. Exhaling to round. Inviting in any other movement that feels good. So maybe rocking the hips side to side. Maybe drawing some circles through the spine. Maybe closing the eyes and just listening to your body, really feeling into your body, finding what feels good here. Taking one more round of breath, inhaling. And on the exhale, we're going to push the seat to the heels for a child's pose. Your knees can be together or as wide as the mat, whatever feels good on your hips and knees. You're sinking your seat towards your heels. You can rest the forehead, relaxing any tension in the head, neck, and shoulders. Maybe walk the fingertips a little bit more forward to feel the stretch through the armpits. You're lengthening the spine here, feeling the fingertips pull you forward and the seat pulling you back, really breathing into the low back in this child's pose. And next inhale, we're going to come forward to hands and knees. We're going to bring that left hand to center and we'll inhale that right arm up to the sky, opening the chest. And then exhale, we're going to thread the needle so that right arm comes underneath the body. You can bend the left elbow, maybe come onto the left fingertips. Trying to peel that left shoulder open, that chest towards the side of the room. Feeling the stretch through the upper back, through the right shoulder blade, through the left armpit and chest. Maybe that left arm comes up and overhead and then finds a bind in the right hip pocket. Breathing into that sensation for one more breath. And then to release, that left hand comes back to plant. We inhale that right arm all the way up to the sky. And exhale to set it down. Taking it to the other side, we'll inhale that left arm up. And exhale the left arm underneath the body, finding the thread, the needle on the other side. Those right fingertips can come to plant, right elbow reaches up. Maybe that right arm comes up and around, finding the bind in the left hip pocket. Just opening up the shoulders, the chest, the upper back here. And we'll start to release that right hand to plant. Inhaling that left arm back up to the sky and exhale to plant it down. We're going to tuck the toes and push the hips all the way up and back, downward facing dog. Finding what feels good in your down dog here, maybe pedaling out the feet, rocking the hips a little side to side. Feet are hips distance apart, parallel or toes slightly in. You're working the way out of the hands and into the feet. Gaze is between the toes or up towards the thighs. Fingers are spread wide here. You can have a slight bend in the knees as we start to open up the hamstrings. We'll inhale to look forward and exhale. We're going to step that right foot between the hands. Drop that back knee, untuck the back toes, and we'll find the low lunge. You can find blocks here for both hands to find a little bit less weight on that knee, on that left hip flexor. If you feel good there, palms can come together and up and overhead, or fingertips to the top of that knee. Just stretching through that front of the left hip flexor. Inhaling here. Exhaling to push that seat back towards the heels as you extend that front leg, finding the runner's lunge. Now we're stretching through that hamstring. You can think of pushing that right hip back and pulling that left hip forward. Maybe the head starts to hang heavy, releasing some tension from the neck. Inhale, we'll shift forward. This time we're going to plant the hands and start to tuck the back toes and lift that knee up. We're finding this supported low lunge. Again, hands can be to blocks if that's a little bit better for you. Maybe rocking a little forward and back, feeling that stretch through the front of that left hip flexor again. We'll inhale here. And this time to exhale, we're going to extend that front leg and fold over. We find that long pyramid pose. You can walk that back foot up a little bit. You can plant that back heel or stay on the toes. Again, breathing through that right hamstring. One more inhale. And then exhale, we're just going to step that right foot back to meet the left, downward facing dog. Breathing deep every time we come to that down dog. Inhale to gaze up at the hands. This time we'll step that left foot between the hands, dropping the back knee, untucking the back toes. We find Anjaneyasana, low lunge on the other side. So again, you can bring your hands to blocks, maybe fingertips up to the top of the knee or all the way up and overhead. Stretching through the front of the right hip flexor, sinking the hips down as you lift the chest up. Inhaling here. Exhaling to push the hips back, extend that front leg, flexing the front toes up towards the sky. We find runner's lunge. Breathing through that front hamstring, really pulling the left hip back, pushing the right hip forward. Next inhale, we walk the fingertips back, we bend into the front knee, tuck the back toes and start to lift that back knee. We find the high lunge supported. Again, hands can come to the blocks. You can take little shifts forward and back, stretching through that back foot and that right hip flexor. We'll inhale to lift the chest and exhale to extend that left leg long. We find long pyramid pose, maybe walking those back toes in a little bit, maybe dropping that back heel. Again, we don't want the hips open, but we're still square, so we're stretching through that whole left hamstring. And next breath, we're just going to step that left foot back. We'll meet in a downward facing dog. From here, we're going to start to walk the hands back, finding a shortened down dog. You can start to bend the knees a little bit. And then we're going to walk the hands back all the way, finding a forward fold at the back of the mat. Feet can be about hips distance apart. And then maybe ragdolling the arms, grabbing opposite elbow. You can sway a little side to side. Really nice stretch through the hamstrings, through that low back. You can have a little bend in the knees. Letting the upper body hang heavy, lengthening through that spine. Inhaling and exhaling. And then we'll bring the hands back to the mat. We're going to walk forward to the down dog. Inhale. And exhale, we're going to lower the knees to the mat, coming back to that tabletop position. And then we'll cross at the ankles and just come onto our seat. We'll start by bringing the soles of the feet together, finding Baddha Konasana bound angle. You want those heels as close to the body as you can. Knees splaying out to the side. We'll inhale to lift the chest and exhale to start to fold forward. You can either keep a flat back or start to round the spine, releasing the head and neck here. You can use the hands to gently push down on the knees, opening up the hips, or you can walk the fingertips forward to pull you down a little bit deeper. Again, just being gentle here. Welcoming in this sense of love and gratitude for our bodies, this tender love and care we should invite into ourselves, never pushing it too much, meeting yourself where you are today. Maybe bringing the hands to the knees, opening up the hips a little bit more. And then we'll start to peel the upper body up. We're going to keep that left knee bent and we're going to extend that right leg long. We'll inhale to lift the arms and exhale to fold over that right leg. We find Janu Shirsasana, head to knee pose. So the hips and shoulders are working to be square over that front knee. That left hip is working to stay planted on the mat. You're working the nose and the forehead towards that right knee. Feeling the stretch through that right hamstring as well as through that lower left back. And breathing into it. Inhaling to lift up ever so slightly. You're going to bring that right forearm to the mat and then circle that left arm up and overhead. So we find a little bit of a different stretch. The legs stay in the same position, but now the shoulders and hips are a little more open and that left arm is reaching up and over to create this stretch through the whole left side of the body. Breathing into it there. Little backing off on the inhale, on the exhales, maybe you fold a little bit deeper. And next inhale, we'll lift up, coming back to center. We'll bend the right knee, extend that left leg. Inhale, arms reach up, and exhale to fold Janu Shirsasana over that right knee. Again, trying to start with square hips and shoulders, so really feeling this stretch through the lower right back, trying to let the head and forehead hang heavy, releasing any tension in the head, neck, and shoulders. Bringing the awareness back to the breath as we find these static stretches. And then inhaling to lift up halfway. We're going to plant that left forearm. Right arm will reach all the way up and overhead. Little rainbow shape variation of the Janu Shirsasana stretch. Again, breathing into that whole right side of the body, trying to plant that right hip towards the mat, stretching energetically in two opposite directions. And then on the next inhale, we'll come all the way back to center. We'll start to extend the legs long out in front of us, and we're going to roll slowly onto the back, hugging the knees in when you get there, rocking a little side to side, kind of massaging out through that low back. And then we're going to extend that left leg long as you keep hugging that right knee towards the chest. Just a gentle pressure here to stretch through the front of the hip flexor. If you would like, you can also start to extend that leg and find a little hamstring stretch. We'll open that leg or knee a little bit out to the right side. And then we'll exhale to let it fall across the body, finding a spinal twist. So that right arm can extend long. You can T, cactus, or goalpost the arm. That left hand will come to the top of the right knee. Gaze over towards your right hand. Finding a little spinal twist here. Really breathing into that whole back. That Sushumna, the energetic spinal column, like a wringing out of the waistband here. And when you're ready, coming back to center, taking it to the other side. Left knee will come in, right leg extends long. You can grab the knee or maybe extend the leg for a hamstring stretch, grabbing behind the hamstring or calf. And then opening that left leg or knee out to the left a little bit. And then exhaling to let that leg or knee come across the body, finding a spinal twist. Left arm can extend, T, cactus, goalpost. Right hand comes to the top of the knee. Gaze follows the left fingertips. Letting yourself settle here, breathing into that low back, into the chest. And when you're ready, coming all the way back to center, we're going to start to grab onto the outside edges of the feet. We'll finish up with a happy baby. You can rock a little side to side, maybe closing off the eyes. Finding this sense of joy in your happy baby, maybe bending and extending one leg and then the other, really opening up through those hips. Through the hip flexors, the hamstrings. Maybe allowing your lips to find a gentle smile here, sealing off our practice. Thanking your body for this time on your mat, this time to just slow down and really be intentional about your connection, your movement. And then we're going to extend the legs long, the arms by the sides, palms face down. We'll settle into a Shavasana. Opportunity to pause the video and stay here a bit longer. I encourage you just to take at least 3 breaths in your Shavasana. Slowing down, maybe feeling the difference of energy from when you stepped onto the mat to how you feel now. Another inhale. And exhale. Slowest, deepest breath you've taken all day. Exhaling to sink a little bit deeper into the mat. And then we'll bring palms together at prayer. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing. I hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you again soon. Thank you.